Hey, what's up, guys? It's Bunny. I'm back again for a whole nother video. Yeah, I'm sitting on the floor because it's hot. Finally turned the air on because usually what I do in my house, um, there's only certain parts of the house that actually have like air conditioning. So that's the living room, my bedroom, and where my parents stay. Although we used to have one in the office, but they got rid of that. So I used to let Flash, my dog, stay in the office, and then I'd go to bed at night and then just get him in the morning, whatever. But when it started getting really, really hot, I made sure I got like a bed set up for him. And, well, you can't really see him, but it's kind of hiding back there. And the setup is kind of like him. It's kind of like a cage, but not really. It kind of just looks like a cabinet, so you don't really know that it's a cage. And the reason why I have him in there is because he actually likes sleeping in a cage. Like he'll sleep in a bed, but he likes sleeping in a cage because when I was living in my apartment, he had to get kennel trained because there was like a moment where he was gonna be by himself. So there was like a time frame where he was gonna be by himself before someone got home from work. So had to kettle train him so he could get used to being in a cage for the little bit of time that he's in a cage. So him being in here doesn't really bother him. He actually likes it. He just he's just one of those dogs, like he just doesn't want to be by himself for too long. And pretty much after that he's good. So I'm done with that little rant. Pretty much this video is about like how did we get to the point in society where it's okay for men to tell women how they're supposed to feel during their time of the month. Now don't get me wrong, right? I've had my period for a while now, and I'm not saying I'm not used to it, and I'm not saying I can't handle it, but I do have those moments where it gets worse than others, like weeks or certain months where they're worse than others, and it kind of sucks. So, with that being said, what's up? I know I look sad as hell, man. Damn, I gotta lose weight. Oh, it's falling. It's falling. Oh, and it's cutting off your face. Oh, look at that. Okay. Um. So, and like I've had months where they're worse than others, but this particular month was like really, really bad. Like I felt like I had like a demon coming out of me, and I had like Street Fighter, Tekken, and Mortal Kombat all going on in my stomach all at once. And it was crazy. Like, Flash was witnessing it. I was, I had washed clothes, and I put the clothes in the basket, took it out to dry and all that, and I brought it upstairs, and I was just like, I was gonna put these clean clothes away, but I just can't do it. You know what? I'm gonna put fresh sheets on my bed, and I'm gonna just call it, a night, and that's it. And and the reason why I thought about doing this video was because of what was said to me. Because I had asked my mother if she could do me a favor, And because, it was my time of the month, and like my stepfather took it upon himself to say, well, you've had it for a while, you should be used to it. There's no, I'm not saying it's not a pain that a woman can't deal with, but I don't think a lot of men understand that it's different for every woman. Like, whatever I'm going through, there's another woman having it 20 times worse than me. And then there's some women who don't get cramps at all, and then there's some women who get cramps and it's not that bad. So every woman experiences it differently. So you can't really say like this is how it feels to have your period, because every woman goes through it differently. Some women have it shorter than others, some women have it longer than others, some women have it just the bare minimum of like a week. It's different for everybody, but to tell a woman that has experienced really bad cramps for the whole entire time that she's had her period, that, oh, you should just be used to it, that's a crazy statement to make, because there's no such thing as getting used to it. There's a such thing as like adapting to the fact that you have to deal with that every month, because you already know what you're going to endure. And as long as you have a idea of when, your next cycle is going to be, you're already mentally prepared for the fact, like, okay, this is what this week is going to look like. But to say to somebody you should be used to it is like crazy to me. Um, because like I said, there's no getting used to it. That's like telling a pregnant woman that had more than one kid, oh, you should just be used to being pregnant. You should be used to going through labor and all that other stuff. Like, there's no like getting used to it. The only thing that changes is maybe over time as you get older, but there's no guarantee of this. Things might get easier to deal with, but there's no guarantee in that. And like I said, everybody goes through different phases when it comes to being a woman. Like, for example, like I met a woman who was older than me at the time, and she had never experienced a cramp. Like, she didn't know what a cramp felt like. Like, she didn't know what I was talking about. She looked at me like I grew a head, like I was crazy. And she went her whole entire life menstruating, never had a cramp, got to the point in her life where she wasn't menstruating anymore, and she experienced something in her stomach that was similar to what a cramp would feel like. And she didn't know how to deal with it. Now, how bad it was pain-wise, I wouldn't know, because I don't know what her pain tolerance is. That's another thing that you have to factor in. Everybody's pain tolerance is different. Just like it is the same for a man. A certain man might have a certain level of a pain tolerance that's higher than the next man. Everybody's different with that. So wherever it was at pain wise, I don't know. But for her, she couldn't deal with it. And then when I was telling her, like, yeah, I get bad cramps every month, like sometimes it's so bad that I feel like I can't move, she was looking at me like, oh, like, I don't know what that feel like. Pretty much like I was speaking Chinese. And I was just like, you never experienced a cramp? Because at the time, for the age that I was, that was the first time I had met somebody that told me they never had cramps. Because most of my life I had met people that they've had cramps and they knew what I was talking about and they knew what I was going through, and they gave me advice on like the best ways to deal with it and how to like cope with it and accept the fact that this is what it's gonna be like, and until I get to that point in my life where I no longer go through that. But it is annoying, but I've for a long time I've been trying to understand how, as a society, how we got to the point where men claim they understand, that they know what it's like or not so much know what it's like, but like that they think that it's a whatever thing. That women that complain about going through their period, they're just complaining to complain, and that's not necessarily the case. I'm pretty sure there are women that just complain just to complain, but there are women that genuinely hurt real bad, like they're really going through it. Like there's some women that get it so bad they can't even get up out of bed. Like they're stuck. I've like what I experienced going through this cycle, I'm not gonna lie, it was so bad I was almost half tempted like yesterday to call out last minute from work. That's how bad it really was. Like I thought I was dying because I had never experienced that level of pain. It was new to me. It was on a whole nother level. And I wasn't even trying to be dramatic. I just was like, I don't know what this is, but if this doesn't pass, I'm dependent on. And it was so bad that I couldn't even sleep. Like I was in bed, getting up every like 5 to 10 minutes, and then it was getting to the point where it was getting so late in the morning that I was like, I'm not gonna get any sleep for work. I might have to call out. So there was that. So I was half tempted to, but then what I said to myself was when I finally got to the point where I like got to like close my eyes, and then I gave myself like an extra 30 minutes because I had the time before I had to like get up and get ready for work. I said to myself, if I get up and I still feel crazy, I'm definitely not going in. There's no questions about that. I'm definitely not going in. But I got up. I felt a little iffy, but nothing crazy. And I had pain, and it was like escalating a little bit when I was going through my work day. But nothing that I couldn't. It was uncomfortable, but it was nothing that I couldn't coherently handle. So I had that, and I made it through the day, and now I'm like at the point where it's like just almost over, and I'm doing good, and I'm just kind of waiting for it to end. But like, let me know like what your guys' thoughts. Like, have you had like bad period pains, like bad cramps? How did you get through it? Like for me, what I would do is I always would take like a hot shower, drink like hot tea or coffee or something like that. Wrap myself in a bunch of blankets. Damn, what, you good back there, man? Um, Wrap myself in a bunch of blankets. Um, Use a heating pad. Try to take something like Midol or anything like that, and just hope for the best. But if you have any other like methods that maybe I'm not trying that maybe might help for next time around, feel free to comment down below. If you want me to talk about more topics like this, like I said, feel free to comment down below. Reach out to me on my social media. You can reach out to Flash's social media. I mean, he don't got much to say about it because he don't know what it's like to get periods. So he a boy, so he don't know about that. But if you want to reach out to him on his social media to get to me, feel free. If you want to reach out to any social platform that I have to express that you want me to talk about this topic, feel free. You want me to add to this topic, let me know. Like I said, like comment down below. Let me know what was your worst experience with cramps, or if you didn't have bad cramps, how was it for you? And did you, like, how was the experience? Do you feel like not having bad cramps, did it make having your period not, I don't want to say more enjoyable, but more tolerable than someone who might have experienced bad cramps or experienced worse cramps than you? I'm actually quite interested because I know everybody's experience is different, and everybody should have a way to express how they feel about that topic, because the topic kind of got taken away from us to talk about, because a lot of men, not every man, but a lot of men are quick to say that we should get used to it, or that we use it as an excuse to not do something or what have you. And a lot of times that's not the case. And it's kind of messed up that we can't even get that basic understanding. But in the same token, I guess I get it, because there's a lot of things that, men experience or go through, that a woman will never understand, and they don't get the benefit of the doubt. But at the same time, it's kind of like a lose-lose on both ends, like from a woman's end and from a man's end, because like I said, there's things that they experience that we'll never understand, no matter how many times they try to tell us, or no matter how many times they try to explain to us. We're never gonna understand or get it um, the way that they get it when they talk to another man. Just like, I think it's almost the same for like a woman when she goes through certain things, and another woman might be more understanding than another man. But it all depends, I guess, who you talk to and who you feel more comfortable talking to. But like I said, if you want me to add to this, you want me to do another video talking about this particular topic, comment down below. Reach out to me on my social media. You can reach out to Flash's social media. He's over there just laying down, waiting for me to turn out the light so he could call it a night. And don't forget to comment, like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Bye.